I told him we should stick to being just friends. He didn't push back or demand an explanation. Instead, he slipped out of my life before I could even cross the threshold of my apartment. It felt cinematic, like a moment scripted for the screen. 1 second we were sharing a quiet truth, and the next I was erased from his existence. If you've ever spoken words you meant to be kind, only to see them crash like a slammed gate, you'd know the feeling. We weren't lovers, but we were far beyond mere acquaintances. We existed in that hazy middle ground, neither fully friends nor something deeper. Our late-night conversations stretched into dawn, filled with effortless exchanges. Spontaneous texts flew between us, no pretext needed. We swapped playlists tailored to each other's tastes, laughed at inside jokes no one else could decipher. Weekends melted from casual "are you around?" to him lingering at my place. No labels required. It was easy, unburdened, like a song I hadn't yet memorized but loved hearing. Perhaps that's where the trouble began, because I was still stitching myself back together after a breakup that left me hollow. My heart was only just starting to mend when he entered my life. Not with bold declarations or wild intensity, but with a steady, constant presence that for a time felt like enough. Then came the moment I didn't know how to navigate. I sensed his feelings deepening, crossing a line I wasn't prepared to cross. He never voiced it directly, but I saw it in the way he watched me when I babbled about something mundane, in how he remembered the tiniest details I'd mentioned offhand, in the comfort I felt being my flawed, unguarded self around him. That terrified me. I could tell he wanted more than I had the strength to offer. So, in a rush of panic, I reached for the oldest excuse in the book. Let's just stay friends. It wasn't planned, and I didn't mean to hurt him. The words just spilled out. We were sitting in his car, parked outside my building. Moments before, he'd handed me a snack I'd casually mentioned wanting days earlier. His thoughtfulness caught me off balance. I looked at him, so warm, so unaware of the barrier I was about to raise, and tried to soften my voice, as if a gentle tone could cushion the blow. He didn't get angry. He didn't beg or question. He just nodded quietly and let me go. As I stood at my door, the night air sharp against my skin, my hands trembled as I fumbled with my keys. Part of me wanted to run back and say, "Wait, I'm just scared. I'm not ready to let this go." But I didn't. I walked inside, sat down and checked my phone. Blocked on Instagram, gone from WhatsApp, messages undelivered, unfollowed on Twitter. It was as if he'd wiped me from his story entirely, like tearing a chapter from a book. At first, shock hit me like a cold wave, sharp and disorienting. Then came panic, followed by a deep, lingering ache that settled in my chest. A heavy tingle of guilt and loss. I thought we'd drift apart gradually, maybe hold on to a faint thread of connection, but he left no room for that. He erased me completely. For days, I convinced myself I'd done the right thing. He deserves someone who's ready. You're still broken. You can't force what you're not prepared for. But the more I repeated those words, the emptier they felt. The truth wasn't that I doubted him. I doubted myself. He was steady, authentic, warm. I just didn't know how to accept that kind of care. I was used to love that demanded I prove myself or bend to fit someone else's expectations. But he didn't ask for that. He wanted me as I was, flaws and all. And I couldn't believe I was enough. So I hid behind the safety of friendship. And he answered with silence. A silence so loud it drowned everything else. No angry messages, no questions, just absence. I've written countless messages since then. All starting with "hey." All deleted before I could hit send. What could I say? I'm sorry I was afraid. I'm sorry I used friends as a shield. I'm sorry I didn't trust that you could care for me without shattering me. I never sent them. Maybe he deserves someone bolder. Someone who wouldn't break something fragile only to realize too late they wanted to hold on to it. The truth is I miss him. Not some idealized version, but him, the way he made the world feel softer, less heavy. The way he listened like my words mattered. The way he saw me as complete, even when I felt like a work in progress. I don't know if he'll ever see this. I don't know if he ever thinks of me. But if he does, I hope he knows I didn't say just friends because I didn't care. I said it because I cared too much, more than I knew how to handle, and I was terrified of what that meant. If you've ever walked away before you could fully open your heart, if you've ever hidden behind safe words to dodge the mess of real emotions, if you've been cut off and felt you might have deserved it, know this. I get it. We all stumble over love sometimes. The question is, what do we do with the silence that follows?